Look, it's a must-know men's fragrance. What a huge compliment puller. Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Don't worry, that wasn't product placement or anything like that. Oh, what's this doing here? West Loop, the fragrance I creatively directed that's made for compliments. Don't mind if I do. That smells great. It is good for compliments though, and it does smell great. And I am biased. Link in the description, Michael Malul X Gents fragrances, all creatively directed by me. Hey friends, how's it going? Ash here, welcome back to Gents. Hope that you are well. Today I have for you guys 10 must-know fragrances. You have to know this. Absolutely everyone has to know this. Well, these fragrances, if you like fragrances at all. So that means if you're a beginner, you need to know these. If you're not a beginner, you already know these. Because if you don't, get back in line with the beginners. Just, sorry, give me that veteran card. Beginners. So just mark these off as you go through. Like, yep, I got them all. So these were actually given to me by you. Yes, you subscribers. These are your choices. I actually had a question up on the community tab of the YouTube channel asking you guys, what are the must-know fragrances for every man, regardless of anything? And these are your answers. If you want to be in a future video, check out the community tab. There's a question on there, changes about once a week. You can give your answer or upvote other people so that they can be in a video. Sharing is caring. Let's get started. Cryin' Ryan 13 is up first. He says, Versace Pour Homme, clean, easy to wear scent that pretty much nobody will dislike. That with the affordability factor would make this my recommendation. And this one came up a lot. Actually, Versace came up a lot in general. We're gonna get to some more Versace in a little bit, but it makes sense why when you think about it. Versace fragrances, for the most part, really easy to wear. Compliment pullers, versatile, and cheap. We're talking discounters, really cheap, but even at full retail, it's not an expensive brand compared to some of the brands out there. I mean, some of that pricing is creeping up, right? So there's a lot to like from these fragrances, these Versace fragrances. It's from a house everybody knows. You say that name, everybody knows it. Presentation, it looks good. It looks classy, it looks elegant. You know, it's not cheesy looking, it's not tacky looking, it's nice. I know at the end of the day, that's not super important to a lot of people, but for some people that is, because you wanna, put it out there, let people see it. If they come to your home, go to your house, whatever, go to your bedroom, and it just has a nice look to it, a nice ambiance. And then it's extremely fresh, it has great versatility. You can wear this to the office, you can wear this casually, you can wear this out around town. You can do pretty much anything with it. People are gonna like it. Like he says, pretty much nobody will dislike it. And when you're a beginner, you're just trying to figure things out, trying to get your nose on things, something like this is great to have. Jack of all trades, Swiss Army knife type of fragrance. So I agree full bore with that. Then we got Stefan484 who says they need to be familiar with how special the Acqua di Gio line is, especially the sparkling marine notes and slight smokiness of Profumo, a freshness unlike anything else. Sounds like you're writing a tagline for the fragrance, Acqua di Gio Profumo, a freshness unlike anything else. Discontinued. Yeah, this has been discontinued now. It's been basically replaced by this Acqua di Gio Parfum, which you can kind of tell when you look at them side by side. I mean, bottle size notwithstanding, I'm talking about just how they look. So if you're looking around, like if you're a true beginner and you're like, oh, Acqua di Gio Profumo, that sounds interesting, let me look it up. If you're having trouble finding it for a decent price, go with the Parfum. And this is another one I am completely on board with. Acqua di Gio, yeah. Everybody needs to know Acqua di Gio. The original Acqua di Gio I wore for years. Profundo, I still love. And a lot of the fragrances that were even discontinued in the Acqua di Gio line are still really good. So Acqua di Gio, do you need to know it? Of course you need to know it. It's one of the most popular fragrance lines of all time. For good reason. Francisco Gomez 11 says, where are you? Here it is. Invictus Victory Elixir. It's simple, it's strong, people love it, it's awesome. Yes. All the things that you said, those are true. I am a massive fan of Invictus Victory Elixir. It is my favorite Invictus to date. I think it is perfect for fall and winter time. Nice sparkling vanilla, super attention grabbing, done in a modern way. And even though it is quite sweet, I think that it's extremely appealing and pretty easy to wear, and it doesn't lean overly youthful. Younger guys can wear it, of course. I'm just saying this isn't one of those scents that I would pigeonhole as like, oh, 18 to 25, nobody else. Victory Elixir, 2 thumbs up for me. One of my favorite releases of the past few years. So of course I'm gonna sign off on that. I am Marv P1. Says YSLY, EDP, Intense. And I will co-sign saying just the YSLY line in general. If you're a beginner, you need to know about it. One of the biggest fragrance lines out there, extremely popular, hugely versatile, and really they've got a little something for everybody. We got Y Eau de Toilette, which is gonna be more spring, summer, fall, daytime, great office fragrance, still nice sweetness to it, good compliment puller, super versatile. Y Eau de Parfum, most popular of the line. That one, pretty strong, nice apple in there, sage, amberwood as it dries down. And that one, honestly, about year round. I know during summer, because it can get pretty sweet, kind of heavy, like I said, good performance, dial it down a little bit spray-wise, and I think you can wear that year round. Another hugely appealing fragrance, that one. Y Le Parfum is similar to Y Eau de Parfum, only a little more elegant, a little bit more mature. And then Y Eau de Parfum Intense, you know, it's kind of playing in the same ballpark as Y Le Parfum, but it approaches things a little bit differently. A little more clean, soapy, more grown up than Y Eau de Parfum is, a little bit more elegant. Still has a nice zinginess to it, a nice freshness off the top, just doesn't have quite that same punch of sweetness. And then a nice little bit of woodiness as it dries down, still really well done. And like I said, the Y line in general, you need to know about. And it's one of those ones that I would try to go into a store, honestly, like any store that carries fragrances probably is gonna have them. At least enough that you can sample them and see which works best for you. Jamar Trusty says, YSL La Nuit de l'Homme. Got 2 YSLs in a row here. It's a unique scent and can be used in a variety of ways. One of my favorite scents for everyday and special occasions. I know some people out there would be like, La Nuit de l'Homme every day? I don't know about that. That's just a date night fragrance, right? Dates, that's pretty much it. And I would say this is one of those deals where, no. Not really. I mean, sure, for each fragrance, you would say this is probably the best time to wear it, you know, whether we're talking seasons, daytime, nighttime, formal, casual, whatever, you know, like saying this is the premier time to use it. And for most people, La Nuit de l'Homme is going to be more fall, winter time, maybe spring during the evening, that kind of deal. But if you really like something, you know, it becomes your signature scent, for example, or just something you enjoy, boost your confidence, and wear it whenever you want. I've said that probably 500 times at this point, but it's still true. Just understand where you're going, what you're doing, adjust your sprays as necessary, and understand that, yeah, maybe sometimes, even if it is your signature, maybe you should go with something else sometimes, but heck with it. Only live once, right? And La Nuit de l'Homme is a super appealing fragrance. So, I mean, you can get away wearing this a lot of places that maybe you wouldn't say is its bread and butter. And it's also decently unique when you think about it. I mean, this is one of those fragrances that when you smell it in the air, you know right away, like, oh, it's La Nuit de l'Homme. There are thousands of fragrances out there. And it's one of those ones that you can pick out like that. So even if it has inspired some things here or there that have some similarities to it, still pretty unique. The next choice comes to us from Jam Cruise 23, who says Versace Dylan Blue for sure. Easy to wear, super mass appealing scent, and it's really affordable, especially from discounters. Once again, these fragrances, these Versaces, very inexpensive from discounters. Dylan Blue is that type of scent that you truly can wear anytime, daytime, nighttime, any season, does not matter, you can wear this. And once again, I think it looks really good. I mean, it's you know, it's the same bottle, just a different color scheme, so of course it looks good. Question is, which one's better, Dylan Blue or Versace Pour Homme? Which look? Silver clear blue, dark blue gold, which one? The quality on this quite nice. I've always thought that this is actually a pretty solid blue fragrance all the way around. I mean, sometimes it catches hate here and there, but I think it's really unwarranted. Because if you're looking for something that just about everybody's gonna love that you can wear anywhere that's not gonna break the bank from a house everybody knows, this is about as good as you're gonna get. So, no hate. Dylan Blue, great choice. Absolutely 100% would point beginners toward that. And then they can kind of branch off from there. Once you start getting into blue fragrances, there's a bunch out there. After that, we have Adela AB1, who says, I would always recommend a fragrance that is easy to wear and mass appealing for a beginner nose. I mean, That's pretty much it. So my choice would be Mont Blanc Legend Eau de Toilette / Eau de Parfum. So Legend EDT / EDP, both would be solid choices. A little bit similar to Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce, both actually really, really good selling fragrances. They're quite popular. It's one of those things where you may not expect it right away, like Legend, probably not that popular anymore, right? But no, still is. And yeah, super easy to wear, really versatile, and for the price point from discounters, great buy. It's one of those ones that I would absolutely tell somebody, just from my point of view, that you do want to buy that one from a discounter because it is heavily marked off. You can always find it for cheap. And you're gonna feel a lot better about that if you pay, 1/3 the retail price. Pick that one up from discounters and you can wear it anywhere. Joshua Fleming with a little bit of a different choice. Replica Jazz Club. First fragrance I bought that smells perfect. 10 out of 10. So Jazz Club, very different from the other things lined up here. I mean, yeah, we have some fall, winter time scents here and there, but mainly freshies, which makes a lot of sense. Jazz Club, not exactly a freshie, no. In case that name, Jazz Club, didn't give it away. Don't think anybody ever was like, Jazz Club, what's that smell like? Shower gel? Probably Jazz, I think that's what a Jazz Club would smell like. So this one is boozy, it's warm, it has a little gourmand touch to it, some tobacco in there as well. It's got a great, sexy warmth and sweetness to it. Vanilla really comes out there as it dries down, makes itself known, and I'm a sucker for vanilla and fragrances in general. I'd say from the house, Jazz Club is the first one you should probably seek out, unless you just really aren't into notes or fragrances of this style. But Jazz Club is where I'd probably start. Jazz Club and By the Fireplace. Then we have D. Rich 718, who has another different choice. He says, Prada Amber Pour Homme. I think it's a safe, everyday wear. At the same time, has a unique touch to it. Luxury soapy smell, like many other Pradas, but it still stands out. So for a lot of people, if they're talking Prada and fragrances for beginners, I would guess more people would probably say Luna Rossa Ocean, Luna Rossa Carbon, or Prada L'Homme. Prada Amber, a little bit of a dark horse choice, so that was kind of interesting. It does have a soapiness to it, a luxury soapiness, like D. Rich pointed out here, and that's something Prada has done a lot. A little bit of powder, a little bit of soap, that's kind of their thing. And this one does definitely have more of a true like soap scent profile to it than Prada L'Homme if you were to compare them side by side. That aspect is gonna make it really appealing for office use, a little bit more semi-formal occasions, and in general, it is a really easy wearing fragrance. I think that who it works for is going to be a little bit more narrow than some of these other ones, because of course you have fragrances here like from the Y line, Acqua di Gio, Versace Pour Homme, Legend, that really about everybody under the sun is like, oh yeah, I can wear that. Prada Amber may not appeal to as many people because you have to like soapy type fragrances, but if you do, it is a great one that flies way under the radar. Now for the last choice, I actually just went with a number of fragrances that came up a bunch also. So these came up and got a lot of upvotes and people talking about them, but so did the next four that I'm just gonna lump together. Those are Dior Sauvage, Explorer from Mont Blanc, Bleu de Chanel, and Terre d'Hermès. So those all make sense, right? Sauvage and Bleu de Chanel are the two best-selling men's fragrances in the world. And they make up 2 parts of the trifecta of big blue fragrances, basically why Sauvage, Bleu de Chanel. So all 3 you really need to know. Explorer, very popular from Mont Blanc, kind of a designer take on Creativentus DNA or that style. Great use year round, nice freshness, a little spiciness in there, super appealing. Terre d'Hermès, it came up, but I gotta say, Terre d'Hermès probably not as appealing to a real beginner as most all these others. Now don't get that twisted and take it as me saying, oh, Terre d'Hermès is not as good as these others. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is somebody who's just getting into fragrances, they may smell Terre d'Hermès and be like, ooh, that's a little hard to wear. I don't know if I like that. I don't know where I would wear that, et cetera, et cetera. You know, you give them Sauvage and they're like, oh, okay, thank you very much. They're on their way, right? So Terre d'Hermès has a little bit of an earthiness to it, an earthy vetiver note there. And vetiver itself is a note that a lot of beginners sometimes struggle with. And it has a bit of a you know, a bitter citrus in the opening as well. So for some people, Terre d'Hermes is a little difficult to wrap their heads around at first, but it is one that I wholeheartedly agree with as being a modern masterpiece. And I do think everybody needs to know it. So it makes sense for the list. Not that maybe you would want to rush out and grab it and spray it and wear it right away if you're just getting into fragrances, but you do need to know it. So there we go, guys. That is the list, courtesy of you. Thank you all for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. I will see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.